Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we're here to read Srimad Bhagavatam again. We actually went for a walk this morning. Nice one, Regent's Park. But it was so cold. Now it's not that cold, but it looks like it's cold because we're all scarfed up and everything. But it's chilly enough that, you know, it was too chilly to read this morning. But we're going to try now.
Yes.
Okay, so where are we?
So it's Canto 3, Chapter 25, and the chapters in verse 1, the chapter is called The Glories of Devotional Service.
Jai. And you're reading from your new book, right?
Yes, new book. So the final book in this version of the third canto.
Dun, 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 dun. It's amazing how just slow and steady wins the race, you know, progressively moving forward.
Yeah.
And then we'll be into the fourth canto before you know it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's say the invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Verse 1. Sri Shonaka said, although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapila Muni by his internal potency. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. Purport. The word Atma Prajnaptayi indicates that the Lord descends for the benefit of the human race to give transcendental knowledge. Material necessities are quite sufficiently provided for in the Vedic knowledge, which offers a program for good living conditions and gradual elevation to the platform of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one's knowledge expands. On the platform of passion, there is no knowledge, for passion is simply an impetus to enjoy material benefits. On the platform of ignorance, there is no knowledge and no enjoyment, but simply life almost like that of animals.
Interesting way to break down the knowledge in the modes of material nature. So knowledge expands in goodness, passion, there is no knowledge, and one is just seeking pleasure on the platform of rain. It just started raining. Yeah, I was thinking, God, there's clouds over there, and then the sun is behind. So, let's see.
You can see it. You can see it. You know?
Oh, wow. That's funny. This is weird, isn't it?
It is. What's going on?
It's like an alien experience.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try. I don't think it's going to bucket it down. It's just a little rain.
Let's see.
So let's see how we go. But it's getting very dark here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so anyway, the Vedas are meant to elevate one from the mode of ignorance to the platform of goodness. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he is able to understand knowledge of the self or transcendental knowledge. This knowledge cannot be appreciated by ordinary man, by any ordinary man. Therefore, since a disciplic succession is required, this knowledge is expounded either by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or by his bona fide devotee. Shaunaka Muni also states here that Kapila, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth or appeared simply to appreciate and disseminate transcendental knowledge. Simply to understand that one is not matter but spirit soul, aham brahmasmi, I am by nature Brahman, is not sufficient knowledge for understanding the self and his activities. One must be situated in the activities of Brahman. Knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Such transcendental knowledge can be appreciated in human society, but not in animal society. It's funny how those little flecks are Never noticed that before. Indicated here by, such transcendental knowledge can be appreciated in human society but not in animal society, as clearly indicated here by the word nrinam, for the human beings. Human beings are meant for regulated life. By nature there is regulation in animal life also, but that is not like the regulative life as described in the scriptures or by the authorities. Human life is regulated life, not animal life. In regulated life only can one understand transcendental knowledge. See, there we go. So it got bright behind us, but at least you can see our faces. So
That might not be a good thing.
might not be a good thing, yeah. Okay.
A regulation. Yeah, I think we were saying this before, how you can actually, sometimes people might say, how can you advance, or how can you have a taste or whatever, progress spiritual life. I think personally, for experience as well as what I've heard in Prabhupada's life examples, and oh my god, it's raining so much. Regulation is very important. If you just try it, if you just regulate your life, which means certain time I do this, I read this much, I wake up at this time, I do this, I guarantee you will see results in your spiritual life. Little steps, don't be major things. Like, not like, I'm reading an hour for a day, I do this. I guarantee. It's like amazing. Regulation is amazing. I love it. I love it.
It is. And in the beginning, I didn't think I was going to love it, because mostly what we hear about regulation is, getting up, going to work, working 9 to 5. That's kind of regulation. But actually, in spiritual life, regulation is key. Actually, it's instrumental to keeping us steady and solid and moving forward. So like that. Now we're persevering here. I've covered over my little computer iPad with my handkerchief, which is clean, by the way. It is 100% brand new. And she's closed the book, so we'll just keep reading from here until it gets to the point where it gets.
I think this is the point.
I think we're going to have to tune in later. See you guys later. Wow. We made it inside.
Yeah, it's like a tsunami.
Well, close. Anyway, I don't know if it was really not a tsunami.
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right. So we'll continue with text 2.
Oh my goodness, where am I?
Exactly.
I lost all my pages. My phone's got smaller as well. I don't know what happened.
Alright, text 2. Shaunika continued. There is no one who knows... Oh, so just if you didn't understand, we're in the flat now because it was raining. That's what's happened. We had to run back. Shaunika continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature a yogi than he. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that no one can be equal to or greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Vedas also. Eko Bahu Nam Yor Vidadati Kaman. He is the supreme living entity and is supplying the necessities of all other living entities. Thus, all other living entities, both Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, are subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. The same concept is confirmed here. Nahi asya vashmana pumsam. Amongst the living entities, no one can surpass the Supreme Person, because no one is richer, more famous, stronger, more beautiful, wiser, or more renounced than he. These qualifications make him the Supreme Godhead, the cause of all causes. Yogis are very proud of performing wonderful feats, but no one can compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Anyone who is associated with the Supreme Lord is accepted as a first-class yogi. Devotees may not be as powerful as the Supreme Lord, but by constant association with the Lord, they become as good as the Lord himself. Sometimes the devotees act more powerfully than the Lord. Of course, that is the Lord's concession.
Also used here is the word varimna, meaning the most worshipable of all yogis. To hear from Krishna is the real pleasure of the senses. Therefore he is known as Govinda. For by his words, by his teachings, by his instruction, by everything connected with him, he enlivens the senses. Whatever he instructs is from the transcendental platform, and his instructions, being absolute, are non-different from him. Hearing from Krishna or his expansion or plenary expansion like Kapila is very pleasing to the senses. Bhagavad Gita can be read or heard many times, but because it gives great pleasure, the more one reads Bhagavad Gita, the more he gets the appetite to read and understand it. And each time he gets new enlightenment. That is the nature of the transcendental message. Similarly, we find that transcendental happiness in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy. That's a nice statement. The more we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, the more we become happy. Not economic development or a nice spouse, nice kids. Not just kids, but nice kids. Nice job, whatnot, nice outfit or whatever. It's quite simple, just hear and chant.
And you become happy.
Yeah, because see what happens, you become immunized from all the other imperfections that are there in material life. That will always be there. In your surroundings and people and the way you look and others look and whatnot.
Yeah. This material world is perfect, perfectly imperfect. Perfectly designed to cause challenge and difficulty to the jiva. That's us.
So we wake up.
Jiv Jago, wake up. Time to wake up.
It's true though, it's true.
Time to wake up.
Otherwise it's very easy to take I think Tribhuvanatha Prabhu, with one of his final instructions and words was, I think literally, when he was leaving his body, was, don't take the illusion so seriously. Yes.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, he's a very famous
Don't
line.
take the illusion so seriously.
Yeah. It's a very famous line he said towards the end. Yeah.
There you go. How seriously do you take the illusion?
Okay.
So, text 3, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, please precisely describe all the activities and pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is full of self-desire and who assumes all these activities by his internal potency. Purport. The word anukirtaya is very significant. Anukirtaya means to follow the description, not to create or a concocted mental description, but to follow. Shaunaka Rishi requested Sutta Goswami to describe what he had actually heard from his spiritual master, Shukadeva Goswami, about the transcendental pastimes the Lord manifested by his internal energy. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no material body, but he can assume any kind of body by his supreme will. That is made possible by his internal energy.
Text 4. Sri Sutta Goswami said, the most powerful sage Maitreya was a friend of Vyasadeva. Being encouraged and pleased by Vidura's inquiry about transcendental knowledge, Maitreya spoke as follows. Purport. Questions and answers are very satisfactorily dealt with when the inquirer is bona fide and the speaker is also authorized. Here, Maitreya is considered a powerful sage, and therefore he is also described as Bhagavan. This word can be used not only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but for anyone who is almost as powerful as the Supreme Lord. Maitreya is addressed as Bhagavan because he was spiritually far advanced. He was a personal friend of Dwapayana Vyasadeva, a literary incarnation of the Lord. Maitreya was very pleased with the inquiries of Vidura because they were the inquiries of a bona fide advanced devotee. Thus Maitreya was encouraged to answer. When there are discourses on transcendental topics between devotees of equal mentality, the questions and answers are very fruitful and encouraging.
When there are discourses on transcendental topics between devotees of equal mentality, the questions and answers are very fruitful and encouraging. Equal mentality means like peers come together and they hear and chant together and they discuss Bhagavatam, and it's like nectar. Okay. Text 5. Maitreya said, when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of the Bindu Sarovara to please his mother Devahuti. Interesting. Purport: in the absence of the father, it is the duty of the grown son to take charge of his mother and serve her to the best of his ability, so that she will not feel separation from her husband. And it is the duty of the husband to leave home as soon as there is a grown son to take charge of his wife and family affairs. That is the Vedic system of household life. One should not remain continually implicated in household affairs up to the time of death. He must leave. Family affairs and the wife may be taken charge of by a grown son. Interesting. So this is obviously being stressed upon here. Srila Prabhupada does say different things in other places. It seems like predominantly, though, he repeats this kind of statement, saying that one shouldn't spend one's entire life in family life, but that the man should definitely leave home at some point, taking sannyas. But I often think of the verse 13, 8 through 12, and the Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada says there in the purport that if the wife and the family are engaged in devotional service, then there is no need to leave, because it's not like materialistic family life. So one might consider that one should leave material life, materialistic family life, because it's not conducive to one's development in Krishna consciousness. But if your home life and family life, everyone is a devotee and everyone's chanting Hare Krishna, as Prabhupada says in that purport, one should, there are 4 things that one should do in family life to make family life spiritual or to make it Krishna conscious. One is that they should all chant Hare Krishna. Second, they should read from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. They should honor foodstuffs that have been offered to the deity, and they should worship the deity. So those 4 things are the activities of a householder that in order to make the home a spiritualized place. Hare Krishna.
Text 6. When Kapila, who could show her the ultimate goal of the absolute truth, was sitting leisurely before her, Devahuti remembered the words Brahma had spoken to her, and she therefore began to question Kapila as follows.
There's that picture there on the front.
That's the picture questioning. Text 7. Devahuti said, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses, for because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Here the word Asad Indriya Tasanat is significant. Asad means impermanent, temporary, and Indriya means senses. Thus, Asad Indriya Tasanat means from being agitated by the temporarily manifest senses of the material body. We are evolving through different statuses of material bodily existence, sometimes in a human body, sometimes in an animal body, and therefore the engagements of our material senses are also changing. Anything which changes is called temporary or asat. We should know that beyond these temporary senses are our permanent senses, which are now covered by the material body. The permanent senses, being contaminated by matter, are not acting properly. Devotional service therefore involves freeing the senses from this contamination. When the contamination is completely removed and the senses act in the purity of unalloyed Krishna consciousness, we have reached Sad Indriya, or eternal sensory activities. Eternal sensory activities are called devotional service, whereas temporary sensory activities are called sense gratification. Unless one becomes tired of material sense gratification, there is no opportunity to hear transcendental messages from a person like Kapila. Devahuti expressed that she was tired. Now that her husband had left home, she wanted to get relief by hearing the instructions of Lord Kapila.
Why were you laughing?
And it made me laugh. It was like, you get relief when your husband leaves home.
Well, no, she's...
Yeah, but I realised she was... Yeah.
She's trying to get relief because the husband
Oh dear,
left home.
yeah.
Yes.
But did I miss something? Most probably I did, but Kadwa Muni's left home, and all of a sudden, Kapila there's sitting on this cushion giving instructions. Did he appear like this? Or did I miss that? Didn't he appear as a little baby and we don't get the childhood pastimes and all that?
No, but he's still relatively like a child here. He's a young man.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't remember that he was born as a. I don't remember it saying that he was born
Like grown up.
Grown up.
Like Sukadeva Swami.
Well, yeah, he was 16 or whatever when he grew up, but that's because he waited that long to.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So there's no childhood pastimes or anything.
No, but he's still a young man in this. He's not like.
I know, but still a young man is not easy to give birth to. So I'm saying he didn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Interesting. I just realised because Kadwa Muni's gone.
More deeply about it.
Okay.
Research and go back through it.
I'll research.
Yeah. Anyone here who would like to research any of you exalted personalities watching? But I seem to recall that. I seem to recall that there wasn't any specific mention of him, either being born as like a semi-adult, or him growing up very quickly. Just more or less that he was born, Kadwa Muni left, and now he's the age that he's at. So, but remember, this is also in another era, so it means one may grow up kind of more quickly, but not, but live longer also. I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right.
But I think we could end here maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so because we read some out in the rain.
We did.
And we don't want to keep all of our viewers like tuned in for too long. We want to make sure that it's doable for you
fresh.
all. Yeah. So like that. So we look forward to seeing you all next time. Please read the Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you're reading along with us, then you'll notice we have started the final volume of the third canto. So we'll be concluding the third canto probably in the next month or so, as long as we keep reading daily. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Going to our Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.